Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young. Hey, a platform where we simply discuss and critique and analyze and simply talk about the sport of boxing in level-headed fashion. I appreciate each and every one of you subscribers since day one. I always say this because I really do appreciate it, and I gotta take my time out to thank each and every one of you. Subscribers since day one, recent subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning into lives. My flash lives. Thank you so much for tuning into the premieres in real time and the playback family. Shouts out to you also, to everybody. Thank you guys so much for commenting in the comment sections. I just love collaborating with everyone. If this is your first time here, if you love the sport of boxing, this is a place for you. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I do these flash lives. So you know when I do premieres such as this. Definitely, man. We'll keep doing this. Let's keep pushing. I like to entertain you. You know what I'm saying? In my own way. Okay. Because this is entertaining for me. That's why I'm making this video, okay? Everybody knows, man. Everybody knows what's going on with this influencer boxing stuff, and not only that, but around that time is when these old school fighters started coming back, okay? I don't really care about it, honestly, but this is entertaining. That's why I want to talk about it, and I cover some things when it comes to this because it's boxing, right? This is funny stuff, man. I want to share this with you. It looks like Oscar De La Hoya is second guessing now. Everybody knows the trajectory concerning this aspect with, the feud, I guess we can call it, between Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo. The feud that, Oscar De La Hoya started, okay? I don't knock Canelo for leaving Golden Boy. As a matter of fact, I applaud him. I think it was the best decision for him as a fighter in his career. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But, I've said it time and time again when it comes to this talk, when it comes to this subject matter. Oscar De La Hoya, we got to give him credit definitely to a certain degree because of how he brought up Canelo. Credit to Oscar De La Hoya in that, man. As far as with Canelo, as far as with all his other fighters and stuff like that, I think he needs to promote whatever better, et cetera, et cetera. But how he brought up Canelo, wow, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. I mean, props to Oscar De La Hoya in that respect. And we all know the story. Canelo felt like he was gypped or whatever word you want to use. He was robbed or what have you, getting just something wrong going on with the contract there when he was with Golden Boy and DAZN, blah blah, and then he left, right, Golden Boy, which is awesome. I think personally, and I said this time and time again, man, I think personally Oscar has a chip on his shoulder. I made it very clear, concerning my perspective on that. I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I think he's mad and bitter. He's bitter. He's bitter with Canelo, man, because Canelo left. Canelo started, bringing things out, after he left that, Oscar just wants to, drink. All he worries about is alcohol and this and that. There are two sides to each story, you know what I'm saying? But, I tend to believe in what Canelo's saying concerning Oscar De La Hoya, man. He knows him. He knows him. And I think that Oscar, he's quite mad because, look at the millions that left the boat. Look at the millions that left the Golden Boy boat, you know what I mean? The millions that, I don't know, and I don't really do that pocket watching stuff, but, you can just use common sense here. I'm sure, Canelo made a lot for Golden Boy and for Oscar. Ever since Canelo left, man, it's over. Canelo is a very loyal person. People may question and ask, why did Canelo stay so long with Golden Boy? Canelo himself admitted he's just very loyal. That's him. Kind of like Bud Crawford sticking with Bob. Sticking with Top Rank so long and whatever. But let's just get the point across there. But hey, congrats to Canelo. He left. Oscar De La Hoya. Ever since, this is what I'm gonna get at. Just, I'm laying the foundation, the background to a certain degree to refreshing our minds and memories. Now, ever since Canelo left Golden Boy, that's when Oscar started doing this whole ranting and raving and bickering and complaining, and throwing, low blows to Canelo behind, on social media, in interviews, and, yeah, man. You can tell Oscar's bitter in that respect. He can push these posts, which I respect definitely, man. I mean, I think it's cool. Those positive posts that he does, Oscar pushes on Instagram that, he's at peace and this and that, whatever. But, out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. And, Oscar's been speaking a lot of things against Canelo, and he even got to the point that he wanted to fight. He wants to fight him. He wants to fight Canelo, and, Canelo has no skills, and he's just throwing low blows to Canelo, throughout the months. And lo and behold, okay, this is what I want to get at right here, man. Lo and behold, boxingscene.com, link in the description. Okay, we got here, De La Hoya not interested in Canelo fight anymore. I guess he was thinking deeply, I think he was at his, office, You know, looks like Oscar De La Hoya was thinking very clearly in his office, sober-minded, you know. Thinking twice, man. Thinking twice. Because all that stuff that, Oscar, I think this is a cop-out right here, man. This is a lame cop-out. I can care less about Oscar coming back to box anyway. And with all these other guys. I say it with all due respect. I got to make this clear, man. I've been saying this for a minute. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, I love them. They're freaking legends, I got nothing to say against their legacy. It's just that same thing same perspective I have with Pac-Man. I've been saying it for a minute, man. Go retire and leave, man. Just leave. Give room for these young champs and up-and-comers. What are you coming back for? Whatever. I know it's for the money, and that's another theory I got. That's just me, analyzing all this. I think that Oscar De La Hoya, he's coming back to fight because he wants to, make up. Check this out. He wants to make up for what Canelo, the damage control here. Oscar De La Hoya needs to make up for all that money somehow, some way that, Canelo is bringing in for a Golden Boy, I really can care less about them coming back and stuff like that. But, you can tell here, man, this is what I think is lame because, Oscar is running his mouth off so much, throwing low blows to Canelo. And now, I don't know. I think he was sober-minded in his office there. And he's like, I don't know about Canelo, man. He'll smash my head off. He's going to freaking he's going to put me to sleep. Yeah, he didn't say that, but of course he's got to say face. But that's just my humble opinion. I'm just speaking what I think, right? De La Hoya not interested in Canelo fight anymore. Wants Trinidad and Mayweather rematches instead. Okay, let's continue here. So I'm sorry, man. It's just funny to me. This is entertaining me. It's just funny, Los Angeles, after kickstarting an adamant campaign to fight the superstar he long promoted, Oscar De La Hoya has okay, here we go. Oscar De La Hoya now has a change of heart on facing Canelo Alvarez as he begins his boxing comeback at the age of 48. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got here. It says, I changed my mind. De La Hoya told reporters before media, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, so we got here, this is quote, not because of anything. This is hard for me to believe, man. He says, not because of anything or because he'll knock me out. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I got to contain myself. It's just that I've thought it over, and I would actually rather I do two of these. And Vidor doesn't knock me out. What? Okay. Maybe do another. I think it's probably here. If Vidor, whatever that dude's name is, whatever, doesn't knock me out, maybe do another one by December and again on Cinco de Mayo. I don't have any hesitation to call out Floyd Mayweather or Felix Trinidad. We have unfinished business. The rematch never happened. Okay, I gotta stop there, man, for a minute. I gotta stop there. Now, he's talking about unfinished business with Mayweather and Trinidad, yeah. But, he has unfinished business with Canelo because he's the one who's been running his mouth off. He's the one who's been calling out Canelo vehemently, in a very, I don't want to use that word, but in a very, grotesque fashion, I guess. Very disrespectful to Canelo. And, you got to make up for what you're saying here, Oscar. You see, that's what I see as lame here. I can care less about Oscar boxing. But if you're freaking going to call out Canelo like that, man, you got to put up or shut up right there. You see, that's the thing. This is the fight game, ladies and gentlemen. You don't just, why do you think, okay, this is another example, just a quick example, okay, just to reiterate, just to consolidate what I'm saying. Rolly Romero, right? Rolly Romero. Why do we think he gets so much credit? He's like the most hated guy in boxing. Or he's the most, I don't know, disrespected, I guess we say, person in boxing, I guess. One of the most disrespected. Why? Because look how he calls out Devin Haney, and he's just, Rolly, yeah. I respect what he does in the ring, because I respect all fighters, man. I just gotta say it. I understand everybody, they knock on Rolly and, that he's a, all these words, whatever, that they're using out there. But, hey, he fights in the ring, and it is what it is, but concerning him calling out Devin Haney and him backing out of that fight, I don't even care about all that drama that went between them two. I know Devin Haney's a real one. That's what I can say. That's what I can say about this. Devin Haney is a real one. He ain't taking smoke from anybody. He's gonna fight you, and he's gonna fight you. He ain't taking slight from anybody. He's gonna fight you if you step up to the freaking plate. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And Rolly coming out with these stupid excuses that you're now not wanting to fight Devin Haney. I think it's on Rolly's side more than anything. But, it reminds me of that, what Oscar's doing here. Look at everything Oscar has been saying throughout the months, ladies and gentlemen. What, now you're just going to erase it and say, no, I was thinking about it. Not because he'll knock me out, but yeah, he'll knock you out, bro. Oscar, Canelo would freaking smash you, man. And it's a joke of a fight, in my humble opinion. But hey, why am I saying this? Because Oscar's the one who is opening and blabbing his mouth off so much about Canelo. I gotta reiterate, this is the fight game, ladies and gentlemen. If you're gonna step up to the plate and call somebody out like he's been doing that to Canelo for months, and kind of like Dillian White, man, reminds another example right there. Just came to my mind. Like I said, I don't take no notes. I don't, I just go off the top here. Like Dillian White, how long has he been? Ladies and gentlemen, come on now. You see, that's why videos are coming out, content's coming out from other platforms or what have you, and saying this is just this generation, ladies and gentlemen. And Oscar De La Hoya, I don't care. Yeah, he comes from the legendary era, blah, blah, blah. But we're talking about now, 2021. You know what I'm saying? He's becoming that. Oh my gosh. Oscar De La Hoya is becoming what this generation of a lot of fighters are doing nowadays. Blabbing their mouths off and not backing it up. Dillian White, man, how long has he been calling out Wilder? How long has he been calling out Wilder? Blabbing his mouth off, but never backing it up. Just shut up. Put up or shut up, fighters. I'm sorry, man. I gotta speak as a fan. I love the sport of boxing, but stop it with the month after month after month after month after month after. It gets freaking old. It gets old after a couple months, man. This is exactly why I don't make videos on these kind of things. And I'm making a video about this because I gotta call out Oscar on this, and it's funny to me. It's funny to me. And I have to speak my mind sometimes, about certain things, because it's boxing. Like I said, this is in the atmosphere of boxing, And it kind of reminds me also of I know it's different, but Ryan Garcia and the whole Fortuna supposed matchup, and Ryan Garcia with Tank, Ryan Garcia with Pac-Man. Blabbing his mouth off. This is exactly why. I got to reiterate this one more time. People out there are fed up with this. Fans out there are fed up with this. Content is being pushed out there. Shouts out to family pushing these kinds of things. I don't even know who it was. I don't know who it is, but I saw it out there in articles or what have you. People coming out saying this generation is a generation of running their freaking mouths off, and that's all they do mostly. And they don't freaking, dancing in front of the camera, calling themselves ducks, and this is foolish, man. My gosh, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta express my mind on this, man. It's foolish. This is the fight game. This is no freaking Disneyland here. This is not, you know what I'm saying? This is not Disneyland. This is not Sesame Street. Come on now. This is a fight game, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to be running your mouth off, calling out fighters, low blows at them, and all of a sudden say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'd rather not do it. This is why Ryan Garcia is so criticized. This is why, there's a myriad, several fighters out there that are being criticized for the same thing. Running their mouths off, saying they're going to do this and that. I'm going to knock you out. Yeah, I don't care. I got him. He has no skills. If that were me, I would knock him out. Blah, blah, blah. Hush. Put up or freaking shut up. Actions. Speak louder than words, ladies and gentlemen. Actions. Speak louder than words. Why am I calling this a lame move by Oscar? Because he was running his mouth off so long for, against, towards Canelo. I've said this time and time again, ladies and gentlemen. I have criticized Canelo about certain things. Yes, you know me. I'll criticize anybody who's worthy of being criticized in certain aspects. I'm not criticizing them as a whole, just in certain aspects. And I also applaud the same fighters too. Let's be 100, man. We've got to be mature about these things. And Canelo, man, the responses he's made towards Oscar, man, he and I wouldn't blame Canelo if he were to fight Oscar. But now it's up in smoke because Oscar now is pulling out. Yeah, whatever. But Canelo, man, I think Oscar was thinking twice. Of course he's not going to tell the media that. Of course he's going to not tell the fans that and the cameras. I personally think, man, he was thinking really deeply about this. Like, hey, Canelo's going to freaking smash me. Canelo ain't playing games, man. And I've said this time and time again also about Canelo when it comes to Canelo talk and certain things like that. At the same time, I know his trajectory is very controversial and things like that. Opponents, blah, blah, blah. I've talked about it and I've expressed my mind about it. Legends have talked about it too throughout the years. And it is what it is. I respect Canelo though, man. Because I've talked about time and time again when it comes to talk, Canelo talk. his freaking work ethic is off the charts, man. He's just, his work ethic, his discipline, his seriousness. He ain't playing games. I've talked about this time and time again. Like, he's the type of guy where, if you're on the streets, man, you don't, like, kind of like Zab Judah. I mean, there are several fighters out there like that. You don't cross them on the streets. I'm not talking about that, test my gangsta. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about, that you just don't cross these guys, man. Okay, I'm just gonna put it. You don't cross these guys. Check out my Zab Judah. Zab Judah. Shouts out to Zab. Video I pushed, and in that context, I talked about the work ethic. How Zab Judah propped. He gave props, man. He gave props to Floyd Mayweather. I got the video on my channel, and concerning work ethic, and I mentioned Canelo in there too. You know what I'm saying? And these guys, you don't cross, man. And I talked about how Zab Judah, that he had an incident on the streets. You don't cross these guys, man. Same with Canelo. I also mentioned before that, Canelo, now, because he's so freaking, he's a superstar, I'm not saying he's the face of boxing. I don't know. That's a controversial thing. I don't do that face of boxing talk. I don't do that pound for pound talk. I don't do that stuff because it's too freaking controversial and, whatever. But he's freaking huge star, okay? And now maybe he's more wise, he's wise about it, and he's, he thinks twice before he does something stupid on the streets. But man, you don't cross Canelo, man. Yeah, he may look pretty, he may look, handsome or what have you. Yeah, he look hot, model, all these people, whatever. But you don't freaking cross Canelo, man. He's gonna. You better watch out. And why am I saying this? Oscar knows him like that. Canelo, man, he's 100. And I think personally, ladies and gentlemen, the way that Canelo was responding, he was serious about it. Oscar blabbing his mouth off so much. I mean, I know he's just trying to hype. He needs money, man. He's trying to put, fuel the Golden Boy funds, trying to make money for Golden Boy, and I think it's a lame cop-out, man. This is a lame cop-out from Oscar De La Hoya. Canelo ain't playing games, man. And I think Oscar was thinking twice about it. Saying, you know what? Yeah, I should think twice on this. I'm going to go with these other old guys. All due respect to Mayweather, but you got to understand. When I say old, I've said it so many times that when it comes to, old guys, when I say old guys coming back to box, it's the boxing age. I'm not talking about their general age. I mean, they're young, they're strong. I mean, I'm not talking about that. They're not, 80-year-olds. No, I mean, I'm talking about old for boxing. I think Oscar was thinking twice. I'm going to go with these other old guys, man, because Canelo, he's freaking in his prime. He's going to humiliate me in that ring. He's going to humiliate me. And I think, personally, the more Oscar was speaking throughout these months, running his mouth off about Canelo, I think that, Canelo was like, oh, my gosh, this is fueling the fire. And I wouldn't, get back to what I'm saying, I wouldn't blame Canelo had he fought Oscar. Because Canelo, this is a personal thing. This would have been a thing like, this would have been a fight like, hey, Oscar, shut up already. Stop putting my name in your mouth to promote yourself. Stop putting my name. It's more of that kind of fight. It's not, Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo would have been a fight like that. It wouldn't have been a fight like, Legacy, another big name on my resume. I think Canelo could have cared less about that. I think Canelo would have taken this fight because he was talking about it in social media. Like I said, I didn't make any videos about it, but I was kind of, reading here and there some things throughout the months. You know what I'm saying? And from what I understand, Canelo, he was planning on fighting. I think he had him on the radar. I think Canelo had Oscar on the radar. I think Canelo was focusing first on making Undisputed, doing this legacy stuff, and then, squeeze Oscar in there and flick him out the way. I think Canelo was thinking that and making millions and millions in doing it. You know what I'm saying? I think Canelo is really and I reiterate, I wouldn't have been mad had Canelo fought Oscar. I would have definitely watched it and said, yeah, good. And this would have been a fight where Canelo would say, this is a fight where I'm going to shut him up. He's the one who started it. He's the one who's been calling me out. He's the one who's been saying I have no skills. He's the one who has been trying to make me look bad. Let's get it. It would have been more of a fight like that. Not necessarily legacy or resume stuff. You see what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, he has a big name. He's doing it for a big name in his resume. No, I don't think it would be for that. It'd just be for freaking, you're calling me out, put up or shut up, Oscar. And I think this is a lame move, humbly, in my opinion. Let's get back to this, man. Okay, so that rematch never happened. Okay, that would be pretty cool concerning, him rematching Floyd and Trinidad. It just depends on how I feel and how how I look and how I feel. I feel amazing right now. You'll see my speed and power, my footwork, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's all there, yeah. We'll see how I do against the heavyweight. I have my hand full, but now, and here, and it's a trip because in the article, shouts out the boxing scene, man, link in the description. It talks about, you know, De La Hoya was interested in fighting the 4-division champ, you know, who is 17 years younger than him in July. He expressed that he wanted to fight in July, you know, and what he said, why not? Why not? It's only power. De La Hoya said, that's all it is. Power I can withstand. Speed like Pacquiao is a whole different story. Power. I have a good chin, you know, when he was talking about fighting Canelo. You know, then he doubled down and said, you know, calling out Canelo on Mike Tyson's podcast. You see, that's another point right there. But before I get to that, let's see what he said. He said, you know, on Mike Tyson's I'm sorry about that. He said, I want to do 2 of these fights and then guess what? I'm going to do a real fight, 12-round fight with either Floyd or Canelo. You see? And it continues here. Now, this is another thing I want to say. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't buy the hype, man. That's why I really don't make videos on this, but it's entertaining. That's why I'm making this one. These guys can say what the heck they want. They get all emotional being on Mike Tyson podcast. You know, Mike Tyson salutes his podcast, amazing stuff. But what I'm trying to say here is these guys get emotional. What did Ryan Garcia say there? He was in Mike Tyson podcast too, right? Right? I knock you out 3 rounds. It's set in stone now, baby. You shut up, man. I mean, Ryan Garcia, put up or shut up. Stop the whole hype stuff. Yeah, you're on a legendary platform, Mike Tyson. You know, hot boxing, whatever it is, and you're getting emotional, and you're calling up, you know, Mike Tyson calls up Gervonta, and you trying to put a show on to the freaking world, and you're not even gonna do anything. Just shush. Put up or shut up. Actions speak louder than words. Oscar De La Hoya doing the same thing. You know, I'm so motivated, and oh my gosh, I just want to fight, and you know, Canelo's on the list. You know, I'm paraphrasing. I want to fight Canelo. I want a real fight with him. It's like, dude, yeah, right. Then put up. Then put up, Oscar, and he didn't do it. Now he's saying this? Nah, you're looking bad, buddy. You're looking bad here. I changed my mind. Not because he'll knock me out. Yeah, I think it is because of that. You're just trying to save face. I think it is that, man. But hey, to conclude, yeah, and you see Canelo's there laughing. He's laughing there. He's laughing away. I'm sure he's laughing away. When he read this, or when he saw this, I'm sure Canelo's like, ah, ha, ha, yeah. Let me move on with my legacy. Let me move on with my career. Let me move on with real deal stuff here. Oscar, get behind me. Get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Real recognizes real, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I got to conclude with this, man. And like I said, people misinterpret sometimes certain platforms just by a little snippet they hear. I have definitely given my credit to Oscar De La Hoya, man. You know, concerning his legendary career. Nothing to take away from him. Nothing. But as of late, as a promoter, as of this stuff here I'm talking about, I don't dig it, man. I definitely don't dig it. But hey, I wish the best for Oscar. Okay? I wish the best for him, and yeah. I hope he doesn't get hurt, man. I do hope he, but I don't think he is with these old guys that he's fighting, but whatever, I don't care about that. But yeah, so man, what do you guys think? Go ahead and comment in the comment section, man. I appreciate you, Playback family. Thanks so much. Those who tune in real time on the premieres, hit the notification bell. Renee Box Young, simply a platform where we discuss, critique, analyze, simply talk about the sport of boxing. If you love the sport of boxing, this is the place for you. Salute to all the kings and queens who support the channel. Like it up. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell once again so you know when I do these premieres and all this stuff. Peace out, Renee Box Young.